Hi everyone, good evening. I hope you're well. Do let me know in the chat function if you can see me or not. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Do let me know if you can hear me and we'll make a start. I hope you've all had a lovely week. Hi Machane, hi Christophe, hi Luca, Verianne, hi, welcome to everyone this evening. So this is the fourth in our series of overcoming your fear of English, and we're going to be doing it on the theme of perfecting your pronunciation in English, which of course is a big hurdle for many of our French speakers. If you haven't joined us before, we are Cercle. We are an online English school. We provide a free English class every week. So if it's your first time, a big welcome to you. We provide English classes as well, 100% funded by CPF, and I do hope you enjoy this evening. So as I've already touched on, in this week's YouTube Live, we're going to be exploring a challenge that many English learners face: how to pronounce words in English. So we're going to be looking at some key vocabulary and phrases to help you best pronounce words, and also go through some motivational tips to help you feel confident in your pronunciation. And I'm also delighted this evening to have a special guest, Axel Fossier, who's going to be joining us. He works at Cercle in video content, and he's going to be joining us this evening. I'll just quickly check that he's with us and let him say hello to you all.
Hello guys, can you see me? I'm really happy to be part of this YouTube Live. It's an honor, Lily.
Excellent, great. So Axel's going to be joining me a little bit later for some games together, and also going through his motivational tips for you when learning to pronounce things in English. So, without further ado, we'll dive into our content. So, part 1, we're going to be looking at the common vowel sounds that are in English. So we've got A, E, I, O, U, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. And we've also got one in brackets, which is Y. Sometimes this is considered a vowel, sometimes it is not. So we're going to be going through some of the most common vowel sounds in English together now to help you feel confident in your English. So some common vowel sounds that we'll look at today. On the left-hand side, I've written one vowel words. So these are your short pronunciation words. So examples such as cat, fish, bud, bed, and top. As it's only got one vowel, we use the following pronunciation. So rather than going in for our A, E, I, O, U sound, it's more of an A, E, O sound. So cat, fish, bud, bed, top. It is read exactly how it is said. Then underneath, we've got when words end in E, the E is silent. So the first vowel sounds exactly like it does in the alphabet. So we've got, for example, make, rice, and mope. And all of these sounds, so the first vowel that you can see, the A, the I, and the O, they all sound like this when we talk, when we say the alphabet in English. So make, rice, and mope. We haven't pronounced the E, but the E indicates to us that we're using these alphabet sounds rather than the sound of A, I, O, U, Okay, excellent. So then here on the right hand side, we've got when a syllable has two vowels next to one another. Which pronunciation do we use? The first letter or the second, O or A? So for these words, we always use the first letter. So there's no need to think about when we look at the word boat, for example. If you ignore the A, that's silent. If we look at float, we ignore the A, that's also silent. In pain, we ignore the I, that's silent. And eat, we ignore the A, we start with the first vowel, the E sound. So again, it mirrors this idea of following the alphabet: boat, float, pain, and eat. Okay, excellent. So moving on to long I and long E sounds. So long, usually one syllable words with the Y on the end makes a long I sound. So for example, we've got cry, we've got fry, we've got try, and all of these are long I sounds. Then we've got the two syllable words where the Y sound at the end of the word makes a long E sound. For example, money, city, many, funny. And as you can hear, I have two syllables, money, when I speak. Okay, then we'll look at long A and long E sounds for you. So in I before E words, we use a long E. So we've got examples such as relieve, relief, reprieve. And there is an exception here. If you see a C preceding a vowel, then we also use a long E. So for example, receipt, ceiling, deceive, conceive, all of these also have a long E sound. And here on the right, we've got E before I words. And this is a long A sound. So if you ever see an E and an I, often it's pronounced as weight, freight, and rain. So it's an A sound rather than an E sound. Okay, excellent. So now we've looked at a couple of vowels. Let's dive into some consonant sounds. So notoriously, I'm sure many of you have struggled with this at some point. Consonant sounds such as the TH sound are very difficult for French speakers because the TH sound does not exist in your language. So we've got two TH sounds. We've got the sound and a th sound. So I'm not sure if you heard the difference. We've got a the, which is slightly harder. This is a voiced sound. And then we've got the unvoiced th sound. So thing, thought, three. And if you can hear the subtle difference between the, which is a harsh sound, and th, which is a soft TH sound. Examples here for the hard the sound include the, those, father, that, and do feel free to have a go at home to say these words as well. The, those, father, that, and I'm sure you can hear that buzzing sort of hard th sound when I speak. Then we've got the soft th sound, so words such as thing, thank, thought, thesis. If you'd like to have a go at repeating these at home, please do. When it comes to pronouncing these words, whilst they sound differently, how you pronounce them is quite a similar shape that you make in your mouth. So you put the tip of the tongue behind the top of your front teeth, and the friction, so the sound, the rubbing sound between the tip of the tongue and the top of your front teeth will make the sound, as you can see in the diagram above. The tongue is touching the top of this person's teeth, and they're able to say the and th. So do have a go at home practicing in front of the mirror if you have some spare time to really understand how to do the and th sound and hear the difference between them. Okay, now we've gone through a tricky consonant sound. Let's look at another. We've got the H here. Again, this is notoriously difficult for French speakers for multiple reasons. You don't usually pronounce your H in French. Rather than say hotel, you would say hotel, I believe, which makes it a bit difficult for you to read H the way that English speakers read H. So we've got two H sounds again. We've got the sounded H and the unsounded H. And one of them, by sounded, I mean that we can hear it, and the other is that it's silent. So, for example, we've got insounded, hand, happy, have, and hello. And in not unsounded, we've got honor, air, our, H2O. And I'm not sure, but potentially you've heard the subtle difference between these two H sounds. We've got one which is huh sound, you're really breathing into it. And then you've got the non-sounded ones such as our, and we're not saying hour here or hair, we're saying air, heiress, honor, our, it's a lot sharper. And when we're thinking about the sounded H, a good way to know whether you're pronouncing it well or not is to simply put your hand in front of your mouth and have a go at pronouncing it. Imagine that you are trying to breathe on your hand, and if you can feel your breath hit your hand when you say the word happy, for example, that shows that you've said the soft H correctly. And similarly, you can do the same thing when you say words such as our or heiress, honor. All of these, you should not be able to feel the breath as strongly on your hand when you speak. Okay, excellent. Now what we'll do is a little game with Axel, who I'll invite back to our conversation. He's going to go through some great motivational tips with you to feel more confident when pronouncing. And then we're also going to have a game as well. Unfortunately, as you saw, we were unable to connect with him on Skype, so he's going to join me just right next to me in the YouTube live today. So, welcome Axel.
Hello guys, I'm sorry there was a technical issue, but here I am now. Can you see me now? Is it working?
Yes, I think it's perfect.
Ah, perfect. I'm sorry again.
Not a problem, Axel. These technical things happen. Okay, excellent. So we've got a lot of French speakers here today who often worry about how they sound in French. They potentially overthink their pronunciation. They might worry about their accent. So have you got any top tips that you could use to motivate our students today to make them feel a little better about their pronunciation?
Alors, for the little story, I was never a really good English student back in school. It really took me a long time to really become comfortable in this language. So my best advice is really to be patient and really to listen to native speakers, because by listening them, then you get used to it and it's easier. It's like music. You have to discover it through a lot of listening, and then it's easier to speak. So you can travel, you can have multiple English friends. It's up to you.
Excellent advice there. And have you got any good series or films that you know that our students might be able to learn some good English accents or how to pronounce words?
So I have watched the whole Game of Thrones series. And what is really interesting about it is that you can listen to a lot of different accents in it. You have British accents, American accent, and even accent from other parts of the world. So it's really a good series to really discover some new accents and to really understand how it can affect the play. I mean the character that all this actor plays.
Okay, excellent, great. You've got some fans that agree with you here, completely agrees with you. Excellent, good. Now we've gone through some motivational tips, let's play a little couple of games together. You can also join in at home. Of course, I can't hear your responses, but do feel free to look a bit crazy and talk to yourself on the computer. We're going to play a small game called the 4 B's, which are 4 quite difficult and similar sounding words in English. So I will write all 4 of them on the chat, and we'll go through them one by one and see if Axel is able to hear the difference between these 4 words. We'll also go through a definition of what each of one of these are, so you're not confused either. Okay, Axel, let's take it away with word 1.
So the first one, I would say it's bear.
Excellent, great pronunciation. So bear, it sounds a bit like air, but we put a B in front of it. And what is a bear?
It's a big animal that lives in the forest and with really dangerous. So be careful.
Indeed, yes, it's an animal that lives in the forest. I'm not sure of the translation in French. An ours, I believe.
Exactly.
An ours, yes.
Amazing pronunciation.
Thank you. Excellent, great. Let's go on to our second word. Do try at home if you're able to say this word.
Okay. Can you guess it, guys? I really like this word. As every young man, I love this word. It's beer, I guess.
Yes, it is. It sounds just like the word ear, so nos oreilles are ears, and we put again just a B in front of it. I've had too much beer. So yes, beer is the pronunciation. And what is beer, Axel?
It's a drink you can have in a bar, at a stadium with some friends. It's a blonde alcohol drink, and it's really tasty. I like it.
Excellent, great. And now on to our third word. How do you say that?
I would say it's bird.
Excellent, yes, bird. It
Bird.
sounds, yes, perfect. It sounds a little bit like heard, like you've heard someone when they speak. And we just, again, put a B in front of it. So a bird. And what is a bird, Axel?
It's a little animal that flies.
Yes, perfect, excellent. And then our last one for the day.
I have a small one. It's a beard.
Yes, excellent. You do have a small one indeed. This is called a beard. So it takes the sound of beer and you add a D on the end to it. A beard. Okay, I hope you all at home managed to pronounce a couple of these. Now we're really going to put Axel to the test. Can you say all 4 words in one go? Deep breaths, we can do this.
Okay, I will try. It's bear, beer, bird, and beard.
Oh, perfect. I couldn't have done it better myself. That was excellent.
May I become a rapper, you think?
I think so, yeah. You're pretty good. If you want to have a go at home, please do have a go. So bear, beer, bird, beard. I even struggled myself there as a native speaker. Do give it a go at home. Okay, and on to our second game of this evening is we touched a little bit on TH words. So I've got a little tongue twister for Axel. A tongue twister in English is a small sort of poem, a small phrase when all the first letters begin with the same word. So I'll write it in the chat so you can have a go at home at saying this as well. And what we're trying to do is differentiate between the soft TH sound and the harder TH sound. So the and the th sound. And we're going to see if Axel can do it for us.
It's really tricky, and I know lots of French people have encountered troubles with this sound. It's really a difficult sound for us French people, so I will try my best, okay?
Okay.
So I would say it's 33 thieves thought they could throw the thing throughout Thursday.
Perfect.
Really?
That was really good. That was good. Yes, we've got the soft sounds of 33 thieves, thought. Those are all soft THs. And then we've got the harder the when we get to they. So 33 thieves thought they could throw the, so a hard one again, thing throughout Thursday. You've got some fans in the audience. Adriana says, bravo to you, Axel.
Thank you very much.
You've done the French people proud this evening. Well done you. Okay, so that's everything from Axel this evening. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your knowledge and also partaking in the game as well.
Thank you very much, Lily.
Thank you.
And I wish you all guys a good evening. See you really soon at Cercle des Langues. Bye.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Axel, for joining us this evening. What we're going to do now is do a little recap of everything that we've learned. So I'll go back to my presentation and we'll go on to the recap section. So we're just going to have some questions about what it is you've learnt today and also a couple of last-minute motivational tips if you're still feeling a little bit nervous about your pronunciation in English. So here is my questions for you. We'll start with my question on TH words. My first question for you, do feel free to write in the chat if you know the answer, is when we say 3, is this a soft TH or a hard TH sound? Have a go at saying this at home and think to yourself, is this a soft TH sound or a hard TH sound? If anyone at home knows, do feel free to write it in the chat. We've got Christophe that says soft, Catherine that says soft, and Rosanna that says soft. Yaya has said hard. We've got a bit of a mix here. So most of you have said soft, a couple of you have said hard. Really listen when I say the word 3 It is a soft sound. It's not three like the, it's three. It's very soft. It's not a buzzy sound, it's a soft TH sound. Okay, on to the H sound, another notoriously difficult point, which I hope is a little bit clearer for you now, my question is, which of the following words do we pronounce the H, so the sounded H sound? I've written them on the presentation. I won't say them out loud because it might give it away, but which of these do we hear the H sound being said? There's 2 of them in this list. We've got some good answers already. Evelyn has said happy and holiday. Happy and holiday, excellent. It looks like you've all got the right answer here. Perfect. Yeah, so I was looking for happy and holiday. As I said before, remember, if you want to know if you're doing the soft H sound, simply put your hand in front of your mouth and have a go at saying some of the softer H sound words and compare it to those that have a harder H sound, such as our, air or honour, which we won't feel the breath on our hand. Okay, and lastly, my question for you is the E on the following word pronounced? So do we say it? What type of sound might it produce? This is a common vowel question. What type of sound will the following word produce when we say it? Evelyn has said the E is not pronounced. Perfect. Yes. Excellent. You've all said no. It is an A sound that we make, so the word we're trying to say is bake. And remember what we said before, if you have a look at the alphabet, it's said the first vowel is said exactly how you hear it in the alphabet. So when we say the alphabet, we say A, B, C. When we look at the vowel in words such as these, A sounds like it does in the alphabet itself. Okay, excellent. It looks like you've all understood and learned something today, so that's excellent to see. We'll go through some last top tips together to help you feel as motivated as possible when you're speaking English. So my first final roundup tip for you is not to despair if you are struggling to pronounce words. Please do take your time and breathe calmly. Sometimes it can be so easy to get so caught up in how we sound, we actually end up not making a lot of sense because we're too focused on improving our accent or pronouncing the word correctly. The best thing to do is just to give it a go. If you've made a terrible error in your pronunciation, the chances are the person you're talking to will let you know how to pronounce it properly. However, if you are not a native speaker of English, it does take time, and do be prepared for people to want to help you as much as you can in your English on that side. Okay, secondly is to not overthink your pronunciation. It comes with time and practice. So as I was saying before, don't despair if you're struggling to pronounce things. These things do take time. It does take practice. And most people that speak or learn a second language, or even native speakers, will be more than happy to help you with your pronunciation and also be kind to you as well. So don't be afraid to say something wrong. Do give it a go. And then lastly, as Axel touched on a little bit in our YouTube live earlier, this idea of watching movies, listening to music in English when you have the time. Switch on the radio, but potentially rather listening to French radio, put on some English radio. If you're watching a film or a documentary, do remember to put the subtitles in English so you are actively learning rather than passively learning. So yeah, that's my top tips for you, and I hope that they'll be useful for you in your pronunciation endeavours in English. So that brings me to the end of my YouTube live this week. Slightly shorter than other weeks, but I do hope that you've learned something new today. Next week will be the final in our series of overcoming your fear of English, so number 5 out of our series of 5 until we move on. Thank you so much for everyone that came this evening. It was a pleasure to have you here. If you haven't already, do please like and subscribe to our channel. Send our videos to your friends, your family, your colleagues. We do a free YouTube live every week, and we'd love to have you here as well. Thanks everyone, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. See you next week. Bye.